डुगडुगी देखते हैं सबके लिए बहुत शुक्रिया, बहुत थैंक यू वेरी मच कि आप लोग हमारा चैनल देखते हैं। हमारे चैनल को सब्सक्राइब के अंदर
और बटन दबाना ਹੁੰਦਾ ਨਾ ਉਹ ਆਖਣਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ
ਜਿਹੜੀ ਥੱਲੇ ਉਹ ਆਪਣਾ ਘੰਟੀ ਜੀ ਨਹੀਂ
ਘੰਟੀ ਜੀ ਹੁਣ ਜ਼ਰੂਰ ਦਬਾਣਾ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਇਸ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਅਗਰ ਦਬਾਓਗੇ ਨਾ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਚੱਲ ਜਾਏਗਾ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦੇਖ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ। ਇਹਨੂੰ ਦੇਖਦੇ ਰਹਿਣਾ, ਬੜੀ ਮੁਹੱਬਤ ਬੜਾ ਪਿਆਰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਜਿੰਨਾ ਦੇ ਰਹੇ ਡੁਗਡੁਗੀ ਨੂੰ ਇਹਨੂੰ ਹੋਰ ਮੁਹੱਬਤ ਪਿਆਰ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਦਬਾਣਾ ਉਹ ਵਾਲਾ ਬਟਨ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਨਾ
ਹਾਂ ਡੁਗਡੁਗੀ ਵੱਜ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ ਔਰ ਇਨਸ਼ਾਅੱਲਾ ਵੱਜਦੀ ਰਹੇਗੀ ਲੇਕਿਨ
ਉਹ ਦਬਾ ਕੇ ਜ਼ਰੂਰ ਹੈ। ਮਿਹਰਬਾਨੀ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ। ਪਤਾ ਕੀ ਗੱਲ ਫਿਰ ਹਾਂ ਕੀ हाल तबीयत ठीक है ਤੁਹਾਡੀ?
वो चल इधर रोलते आ गए उधर।
अच्छा अस्सलाम
वालेकुम जी। हम अपने व्यूवर्स को खुशामदीद कहते हैं और ख़ास तौर पे हमारे जो बैरून मुल्क हमारे दोस्त हैं जो हमारा चैनल डुगडुगी देखते हैं सबके लिए बहुत शुक्रिया, बहुत थैंक यू वेरी मच कि आप लोग हमारा चैनल देखते हैं। हमारे चैनल को सब्सक्राइब के अंदर
और बटन दबाना ਹੁੰਦਾ ਨਾ ਉਹ ਆਖਣਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ
ਜਿਹੜੀ ਥੱਲੇ ਉਹ ਆਪਣਾ ਘੰਟੀ ਜੀ ਨਹੀਂ
ਘੰਟੀ ਜੀ ਹੁਣ ਜ਼ਰੂਰ ਦਬਾਣਾ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਇਸ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਅਗਰ ਦਬਾਓਗੇ ਨਾ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਚੱਲ ਜਾਏਗਾ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦੇਖ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ। ਇਹਨੂੰ ਦੇਖਦੇ ਰਹਿਣਾ, ਬੜੀ ਮੁਹੱਬਤ ਬੜਾ ਪਿਆਰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਜਿੰਨਾ ਦੇ ਰਹੇ ਡੁਗਡੁਗੀ ਨੂੰ ਇਹਨੂੰ ਹੋਰ ਮੁਹੱਬਤ ਪਿਆਰ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਦਬਾਣਾ ਉਹ ਵਾਲਾ ਬਟਨ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਨਾ
ਹਾਂ ਡੁਗਡੁਗੀ ਵੱਜ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ ਔਰ ਇਨਸ਼ਾਅੱਲਾ ਵੱਜਦੀ ਰਹੇਗੀ ਲੇਕਿਨ
ਉਹ ਦਬਾ ਕੇ ਜ਼ਰੂਰ ਹੈ। ਮਿਹਰਬਾਨੀ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ। ਪਤਾ ਕੀ ਗੱਲ ਫਿਰ ਹਾਂ ਕੀ हाल तबीयत ठीक है ਤੁਹਾਡੀ?
वो चल इधर रोलते आ गए उधर।
अच्छा अस्सलाम
वालेकुम जी। हम अपने व्यूवर्स को खुशामदीद कहते हैं और ख़ास तौर पे हमारे जो बैरून मुल्क हमारे दोस्त हैं जो हमारा चैनल डुगडुगी देखते हैं सबके लिए बहुत शुक्रिया, बहुत थैंक यू वेरी मच कि आप लोग हमारा चैनल देखते हैं। हमारे चैनल को सब्सक्राइब के अंदर
और बटन दबाना ਹੁੰਦਾ ਨਾ ਉਹ ਆਖਣਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ
ਜਿਹੜੀ ਥੱਲੇ ਉਹ ਆਪਣਾ ਘੰਟੀ ਜੀ ਨਹੀਂ
ਘੰਟੀ ਜੀ ਹੁਣ ਜ਼ਰੂਰ ਦਬਾਣਾ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਇਸ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਅਗਰ ਦਬਾਓਗੇ ਨਾ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਚੱਲ ਜਾਏਗਾ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦੇਖ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ। ਇਹਨੂੰ ਦੇਖਦੇ ਰਹਿਣਾ, ਬੜੀ ਮੁਹੱਬਤ ਬੜਾ ਪਿਆਰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਜਿੰਨਾ ਦੇ ਰਹੇ ਡੁਗਡੁਗੀ ਨੂੰ ਇਹਨੂੰ ਹੋਰ ਮੁਹੱਬਤ ਪਿਆਰ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਦਬਾਣਾ ਉਹ ਵਾਲਾ ਬਟਨ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਨਾ
ਹਾਂ ਡੁਗਡੁਗੀ ਵੱਜ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ ਔਰ ਇਨਸ਼ਾਅੱਲਾ ਵੱਜਦੀ ਰਹੇਗੀ ਲੇਕਿਨ
ਉਹ ਦਬਾ ਕੇ ਜ਼ਰੂਰ ਹੈ। ਮਿਹਰਬਾਨੀ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ। ਪਤਾ ਕੀ ਗੱਲ ਫਿਰ ਹਾਂ ਕੀ हाल तबीयत ठीक है ਤੁਹਾਡੀ?
वो चल इधर रोलते आ गए उधर।
अच्छा अस्सलाम
वालेकुम जी। हम अपने व्यूवर्स को खुशामदीद कहते हैं और ख़ास तौर पे हमारे जो बैरून मुल्क हमारे दोस्त हैं जो हमारा चैनल डुगडुगी देखते हैं सबके लिए बहुत शुक्रिया, बहुत थैंक यू वेरी मच कि आप लोग हमारा चैनल देखते हैं। हमारे चैनल को सब्सक्राइब के अंदर
और बटन दबाना ਹੁੰਦਾ ਨਾ ਉਹ ਆਖਣਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ
ਜਿਹੜੀ ਥੱਲੇ ਉਹ ਆਪਣਾ ਘੰਟੀ ਜੀ ਨਹੀਂ
ਘੰਟੀ ਜੀ ਹੁਣ ਜ਼ਰੂਰ ਦਬਾਣਾ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਇਸ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਅਗਰ ਦਬਾਓਗੇ ਨਾ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਚੱਲ ਜਾਏਗਾ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦੇਖ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ। ਇਹਨੂੰ ਦੇਖਦੇ ਰਹਿਣਾ, ਬੜੀ ਮੁਹੱਬਤ ਬੜਾ ਪਿਆਰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਜਿੰਨਾ ਦੇ ਰਹੇ ਡੁਗਡੁਗੀ ਨੂੰ ਇਹਨੂੰ ਹੋਰ ਮੁਹੱਬਤ ਪਿਆਰ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਦਬਾਣਾ ਉਹ ਵਾਲਾ ਬਟਨ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਨਾ
ਹਾਂ ਡੁਗਡੁਗੀ ਵੱਜ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ ਔਰ ਇਨਸ਼ਾਅੱਲਾ ਵੱਜਦੀ ਰਹੇਗੀ ਲੇਕਿਨ
ਉਹ ਦਬਾ ਕੇ ਜ਼ਰੂਰ ਹੈ। ਮਿਹਰਬਾਨੀ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ। ਪਤਾ ਕੀ ਗੱਲ ਫਿਰ ਹਾਂ ਕੀ हाल तबीयत ठीक है ਤੁਹਾਡੀ?
वो चल
अस्सलाम वालेकुम व्यूअर्स, आप टीवी के डिजिटल प्लेटफॉर्म डुगडुगी से आपको खुशामदीद कहते हैं। जी हाँ, यूट्यूब का ये चैनल है डुगडुगी जो कि आपका फेवरेट चैनल है। आप इस पर अपने फेवरेट प्रोग्राम्स देखते रहते हैं। PSL का ज़माना है तो हमने आपके लिए एक खुसूसी क्रिकेट शो तैयार किया है जिसका नाम है शॉर्ट पिच। आप इसको देखते रहते हैं, पसंद करते हैं, इसे इंप्रूव करने के लिए अपनी सजेशंस हम तक भेजते हैं जिसके लिए हम आपके बहुत शुक्रगुजार हैं। इस प्रोग्राम में यूजुअली तो मेरे साथ सलमान बट होते हैं लेकिन आज हमने सोचा कि PSL में गैप है, कोई मैच नहीं हो रहा तो थोड़ा सा प्रोग्राम का मिजाज जो है वो तब्दील किया जाए और आपकी मुलाकात एक नए मेहमान से कराई जाए। तो आज जो मेरे मेहमान हैं वो पाकिस्तानियों के दिलों पे राज करते हैं। PSL के दौरान जब मैचेस होते हैं तो वो ग्राउंड में होते हैं, प्लेयर से बातचीत करते हैं और उनके सोशल मीडिया के पोस्ट, उनकी वीडियोस और उनके जो कमेंट्स होते हैं वो अभी वो पोस्ट करते ही नहीं है कि वो वायरल हो जाते हैं। जी मैं बात कर रहा हूँ आपके और मेरे जाने पहचाने डेनिस फ्रीडमैन की जो कि ऑस्ट्रेलियन जर्नलिस्ट हैं और PSL के दौरान तो बेइंतहा वो एक्टिव रहे हैं। आजकल डेनिस कहाँ हैं, वो क्या कर रहे हैं, उनके आगे के क्या प्लान्स हैं, ये सब जानने के लिए मेरा उनसे राब्ता हुआ। स्काइप के जरिए हमने उनसे बात की। डेनिस इस वक्त मेलबर्न में मौजूद हैं और अब वक्त ज़ाया नहीं करते, आपकी डेनिस से मुलाकात कराते हैं और आइए देखते हैं कि डेनिस अब क्या करने वाले हैं। Okay, viewers, we have Dennis Freedman with us live from Melbourne, and I hardly think there's any Pakistani out there who uses social media and is not aware of Dennis. He is an ardent cricket fan, and above that, he loves Pakistan cricket a lot. So, Dennis, you should have been in Dubai right now. What are you doing in Melbourne?
Yeah, it's a bit of a, what's the term we use here in Australia? Can I say that?
I'll have to edit that a bit.
It hasn't been good. I had some commitments that I just could not get out of here in Melbourne that I really wanted to, but circumstances happened, so I wasn't able to travel to Dubai. I had another wonderful invitation from the great guys at Crick and Jiff to come and join them and get up to the same antics as I did last year with the Dennis Does PSL video series, which went viral. We had over 10 million views of that series last year. So we had planned to do another series this year and I had my good friend Jeremy McClellan ready to come with me, and we were going. This is true. So we're going to do a series, and then I had to pull out maybe 2 weeks before the start of the tournament. So Jeremy didn't want to come by himself. He knows nothing about cricket, and so unfortunately, I'm stuck in Melbourne. But I'm missing all my wonderful friends I made through the PSL, both the journalists, the players, the team owners, the administrators, the PCB guys, the social media guys, the fans. It was an amazing experience last year, and I'm missing the party this year, but I'll be back. Don't worry, for PSL number 5. I can't count. I can't count to 5. I can go 8, 2, 3. I don't know 4 and 5.
4 is 4 and 5 is 5.
8, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Bingo, you got it there, mate. You got it there. So, Dennis, a lot of the people that I've been talking to, especially guys that down there in Dubai, they are really missing you. So, I mean, I'm sure they must be messaging you and like saying that, Dennis, come over. We are really missing you out here.
A couple of people, but I wouldn't say many. I think you're overplaying it. Other people fill the space.
They do. So, Dennis, I mean, just walking you through and trying to get more out of you. What was the initial thought behind the program or the series that you started in Dubai? Whose brainchild was it?
It's a bit of a story, Ashar. So I had just finished filming the Dennis Does Pakistan documentary that we're now pitching to the TV stations in Pakistan. So it's all finished. We're now just trying to find a way to distribute it. And the guys at Cricket GIF had helped me when I was in Pakistan get around and produce it. So they had the rights for the digital rights for the PSL last year, and they said, come over to Dubai and let's just come and we'll work something out. So we had no plans, and I arrived, and then 2 days after I arrived, they said, oh, here we have a cameraman, and here's your press pass. It gives you ground access. You can go wherever you like. Just go be Dennis. And I'm not sure they understood what that meant, but I stayed for 10 days. We shot 8 episodes. I got to interview a lot of players, a lot of the coaches from Mickey Arthur and Javed Afridi and met Fahad Rana and all these guys and Nadeem Omar, the owner of the Quetta Gladiators. And I climbed the light towers and I sung songs in the crowd. We did Pakistan Zindabad and Aussie, 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 oi, oi, oi. And, got to play golf with Shan Masood. I just had a wonderful time. Got to meet a lot of the young stars who are now coming through. And, the guys embraced it. I think it was something different. I don't think it's very often that a Gora turns up to the PSL and starts asking the players questions that they probably don't expect. And last year we were sponsored. We had one episode. We were sponsored by Pond's, the facial cream.
The facial cream, yeah.
And I was interviewing Mickey Arthur, and I was sitting outside in the sun, and I said, "Do you mind if because I had to integrate the brand into the interview somehow." So I said, "Mickey, you're burning up here on your forehead. He has no hair. I better put some Ponds in." So we started rubbing Ponds into his forehead. So we had a good time, and this year. To be honest, this year Cricket GIF have gone one better. They've got Danny Morrison taking my place because I couldn't turn up. So Danny's doing wonderful things with them this season. But next year, who knows what will happen? As I said, I'd love to go back with a few of my friends and bring some new people to the PSL, both cricket and non-cricket people, and really do some funny stuff and showcase the personalities of Pakistan to the world. I think we've missed that the last 10 years.
I'll see what we can do in that, and probably, who knows, me and you could be sitting in Dubai and doing that. So, Dennis, you're an Aussie, so cricket has to be in your blood. How much cricket do you understand, or is it, Dennis, all about going into the grounds and having fun? Or is there a cricketing side in you too?
Look, there's both. I think being an Aussie, we just like to have fun, right? We're very much like Pakistanis. We don't take ourselves too seriously. There's a lot of similarities between Australians and Pakistanis. I just don't think we've worked them out yet. And we're the underdog, right? Australia is a small country in the scheme of the world. We're dominated by America and the United Kingdom and all these places. You guys are the little brother to India, and you're squeezed between China and Iran, and so we can't take ourselves too seriously. But I like to think of myself that I understand cricket and I can analyse cricket quite well. I've done some serious cricket work. I've done some comedic cricket work and everything in between. But I don't like to be pigeonholed as one or the other. There was a time there last year I was writing a lot of serious pieces for Pakistan's Dawn newspaper. And that was fun, and that was serious work. And then, but the reality is I enjoy just have fun. So my podcast and my YouTube channel and my writing is typically, and the social media is typically about having fun and not taking life too seriously. Because I think if you're living life without laughter, you're missing out on a lot.
Yeah. Okay, Dennis, coming to the fun part, and you just said that the cricketers would mean they must have been getting shocked that a Gora coming and talking to them. And now you going into the crowds, and they're like, there's a mixture of crowds coming there. There are Pashtuns, there are Punjabis, there are Urdu speaking. Yep. What is your immediate interaction with them? How do they respond when they see you among them?
Well, last year I made sure every time I went into the crowd, I was wearing a Pakistani 1994 replica World Cup top.
92.
And on the back, 92, sorry.
Yeah.
And on the back were the words Sash and Who. So, it made life easy to assimilate with the guys having fun. But, whether they're Pashtun or they're Pakistani or they're Aussies or they're expat Englishmen or whatever, they're just people, right? And they're there to enjoy the game. So no one cares when you're in the crowd watching cricket what colour your skin is or who you follow. We're just there to have fun. And, we pick up the dole and hit the drums and we play the trumpets and we sing songs and we high five and whatever. We're just people having fun. And then later, you let the mainstream media politicise the colour of your skin or which country you're from. But while you're at the cricket game...
Exactly. So, Dennis, did you get to know some of the Pakistani songs, and how much Urdu did you learn during that?
Kya dekh rahe hai, Ashar?
Kya dekh rahe? Main aapko dekh raha hu. I'm watching you.
Right. Look, obviously I learned all the bad words.
That's easy to get.
Now I can count to 5.
Okay.
And I learned a few songs. So, Dil, Pakistan, Jan, Pakistan. So I know that one. And then there's Coca-Cola, ooh, chola, chola. So you pick up a few songs. I'm a big fan of Tahir Shah. My Eyes and Angel. They're classic songs. There's a bit there to like.
Definitely. And what about the local food, Pakistani food? Did you get your taste buds into it?
I did when I was in Pakistan. Yeah, absolutely. I ate everything. We ate a lot in the streets. Ande Wala burger is now my new favourite. Can't get enough of the Ande Wala burger. And the problem is here in Melbourne, it doesn't exist. I'm yet to find a Pakistani here that can get any for me. Biryani, I think, is an overrated dish. Despite how much the Karachiites like to tell you, it's fantastic. It's just rice and a bit of chicken. And it looks like rice and chicken. And it tastes like rice and chicken. So I don't know how that's exciting. What else? I'll tell you one thing. All I did was drink a lot of fruit juice. So I got used to pineapple juice and watermelon juice. And so that was good. I don't drink enough juice here in Australia. And the barbecued meats. You guys do barbecued meats like kings. There's not quite Chennai Super Kings, but just normal Karachi Kings. You do You do the barbecue better than anybody else. I don't know what special spices or what magic tricks you guys play with the meat, but it's fantastic. I didn't eat much Gora horse. I didn't eat much of that. I had a little bit of Gora on a Gora. I had a little bit of Kota. Afterwards, they told me it was Kota. I didn't know beforehand, but it tastes okay. You cook it long enough, it's okay. But I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of the foods. And I avoided all the fast food as much as I could. So I avoided McDonald's and I avoided all those Western places as much as I could. I like the home cooking. And to be honest, I have a very good friend here in Australia. His name is Fawad Ahmed. You might know him. He's playing for Quetta Gladiators.
Yep, nice spinner.
Pakistani. Now he's an Australian. And he cooked for me one night. I went round to his house and we sat on the floor and we just put down newspaper like all when you go to college and you're rooming with all your friends and you're living poorly. So there's newspaper on the floor. We sat on the floor and he cooked some curries and he cooked some chai, some karak chai for me. And it's the best. Homemade cooking is the best. And I think the one thing that Pakistani males do better than any other males in the world is cook.
Well, Dennis, you must be knowing that you're talking to a Karachiite. And when you say that biryani is overrated, that offends me a bit. You see, we are very particular about our biryani wherever we go. And there's a big joke between Karachi and Lahore that we say that when you come to Lahore, it's not biryani, it's plain pulao. And for exact biryani, the authentic biryani, you have to come to Karachi.
Now, with a loo or without a loo?
That happens. That's the time when next morning.
No, it is. It's every city has its food that it likes to stand behind. So in Australia, it's meat pies, right? So I don't know if you know what a meat pie is, but we take minced beef or minced chicken and put some gravy, and we put it in like some pastry, and then you cook it up and you eat it. And you can't get it anywhere in the world, just here. And that's our staple diet. And then we have special desserts like you guys have. You know, you have your classic things. But and we have Vegemite. So I don't know if you've heard of Vegemite. It's a spread you put on your bread.
Okay.
And if you're not Australian and you have Vegemite, it's the worst tasting thing in the world.
Okay.
And I'm not going to say biryani was the worst tasting thing in the world. It was plain. It was boring. It was like it was like when you step into an elevator and you hear that music. It was like elevator music. It wasn't very exciting. It was a bit boring, a bit bland.
Next PSL, I'm taking you to Karachi, and I'm going to give you the spicy, mouth-watering traditional biryani. And mind it, your ears are going to fume, your eyes are going to run. That's when you will know you're having the authentic biryani. So
I like spicy foods. I'm just hijacking your video here. I'm just turning around to show people the bush. This is classic Australian bush. Big gum trees.
Not the American bush.
Not the American bush. No.
Okay.
So there you go.
Dennis, I see you wearing a Multan Sultan shirt. So have you been hired by them? Is there something official about it?
No, so I was given this by their social media team last year. So thank you to Sudrish Khan and thank you to Heda Azhar. They gave me some kit. And so I was wearing this. And last year, here's a story. So last year, I decided I was going to be a power lifter. And if you don't know what powerlifting is, it's when overweight guys who can't lose weight in the gym decide they're just going to lift because it makes them feel like they're doing something, right? So I became a power lifter, and I wore this top in my first ever powerlifting competition. So this top has lifted 210 kilos on the deadlift and squatted 170 kilos.
Wow!
And bench pressed 135 kilos. That's the power of the Multans, man.
Okay, so Dennis, now getting a bit towards the serious stuff. You know what's happening on the political front, and cricket is unfortunately being mixed with politics over here. And you have seen what the Indians have done. Pakistanis are not too comfortable about it. How do you feel it?
Well, first of all, let's talk about the attack in Kashmir. You know, you don't even have to say you condone it. There's not one sensible human being on the planet who needs to come out and say they don't condone these attacks or they're against these attacks. Everybody's automatically against these attacks. It was of the biggest nature, but the reality is, unfortunately, these things happen around the world on a daily basis, right? They happen in Sydney, they happen in Paris, they happen in New York, they happen in Kashmir, they happen everywhere. And so the bit that really irks me is, yes, I'm sad for the families, I'm sad for the Indian people, I'm sad for all those affected. I'm just sad that the world has these type of people, but for the Indian reaction to then turn around and blame a country of 220 million people for what happened with one or two guys. And when you look at all the facts around it, when you start digging down to the facts, you know, it's stupid. It's misplaced hatred. It doesn't achieve anything. It's populist nationalism. And you know, and nationalism in my books is not a positive thing anyhow. The fact that if you look at the Indian-Pakistani scenario, some British guy called Lord Mountbatten drew some lines on a map back in the 1947. And you guys are taking pride about where that line is. It's just a stupid concept, right?
Okay,
yeah. You know, be proud of what you are, but you don't need to necessarily let lines on a map define you, and be the difference between life and death. And so, when the reaction from India was, and we'll take the crick buzz example, we're going to stop covering the PSL as punishment to the whole of Pakistan. I'm going to because it's stupid, it's puerile, it's misplaced, it's inaccurate, and it does more harm than good to these corporate brands. You know, we should, in times like this, we should be getting around each other as brothers and sisters and not killing each other or trying to get one-upsmanship about who can do the biggest hatred thing to the other. And I relate it to the Bali bombing. So, in Australia, we all go to Bali, which is a place in Indonesia, and that's our holiday destination. It's like Indians going to Goa, right?
Right.
And I don't know, maybe 10 years ago, 15 years ago, there was a mass bombing in a nightclub that was where we lost almost 100 lives, Australian lives, just because they targeted Australians, these radical Islamic extremists. So Australia had two options. Australia can go, we're going to invade Indonesia, or we can go, you know what, you guys have got some problems that you're struggling to control for whatever reasons. How do we help?
Right.
And we chose the second option. And we got around Indonesia, we got around the Balinese people, we got around our fellow Australians, and there was no hate to Indonesia. There was zero hate to Indonesia. It was an outpouring of love, an outpouring of grief, an outpouring of how do we help, how do we make the situation better. So India had a choice, and the mass media and the cricketers like Gambia and the social influencers and the TV commentators and the Bollywood actors had a choice, and they could have said, how do we help Pakistan if we really believe that this is a Pakistani issue, control this? Or how do we do better things in Kashmir so that we don't have people wanting to blow up the security forces, which is the biggest issue, versus we're going to pull out from the PSL, we're going to stop covering it. And it's bad. At a deep level, it actually tears and demonstrates the insecurities of both Pakistanis and Indians, because Pakistanis are responding in kind. To be fair, I'm not helping the cause. I'm playing it up a little bit myself, having some fun with it. But, I get the grief. I get that. But to blame a nation is just, it's stupid.
Dennis, sorry to interrupt you, but one thing which really petrifies us in Pakistan is that anything that goes wrong into India, it doesn't take even seconds, and they shift all the blame to Pakistan. They're not canceling their movies. Javed Akhtar, one of the biggest poets over there, he was coming to Karachi. He doesn't come in. I mean, whatever bad happens to India, Pakistan has a hand into it. Even a dog dies over there, they're going to say that Pakistan did that. This is what actually petrifies us over here.
You shouldn't be scared of that. You should be laughing at it, which is what most of you guys are doing. So India's throwing hate and fear, and you guys are throwing back memes. It's fantastic.
And then, being an Aussie, you enjoy that, or how does it feel?
Yeah, life is about smiling and being happy and laughing. Life is not about hate and having sad faces, right? So, the reality is the world is not a fair place. The reality is the world is at times a terrible place. But it's how you react to that defines you as a person and defines your society. Let's take the USA, for example. Every week there's a school shooting or on, and there's Donald Trump, and they're building walls and crap. Some people like the NRA are standing behind that and going, yeah, this is America. But the majority of Americans are not standing for it, right? They're seeing this crap and they're against it. In Australia a few years back, we had a terrorist attack in the main street of Sydney. Paris had terrorist attacks a couple of years ago where a guy drove a bus through the main street of Paris, right? But what's the reaction? It's not, let's kick out all the Muslims or let's do this or that. It's people get around each other and try and find solutions. But the solution is not what Gautam Gambhir is saying, let's invade Pakistan. If Gautam Gambhir really wants to invade Pakistan, I want to see him have a gun and be the first guy to cross the border. It's never going to happen. He's the biggest keyboard warrior. He's fair income. He's a verbal terrorist. That guy. Those verbal kind of guys. He's a verbal terrorist. Guys like Gambhir should, mainstream media shouldn't be standing for this stuff. And the thing about CricBuzz that really bothers me the most is they're owned by the Times of India, and the Times of India is meant to be a moderate, broadsheet, thinking man's paper, right? And then they've got this is just alarmist, nationalistic rubbish.
Dennis, unfortunately, that is what sells, and media wants to sell it. So, saying all these words so openly, don't you think you're becoming a bit unpopular in India?
India's a big place, right? There's a lot of people that probably hate me. There's a lot of people that are Indians, to be honest, that are agreeing with me. I don't share my views to be popular. I share my views because I believe in them. There's an old saying that somebody invented, but I'm stealing and going to claim it as mine, which says, decision making is easy when you know what your values are. And if you don't believe in this stuff, you need to stand up against it. And I'm blessed in that I have a medium through social media to share my views. Other people write books. Other people have discussions with their friends over a cup of tea. Other people start Facebook groups and share memes, whatever, right? You have your ways, but I'm not fussed if I'm popular or unpopular in India or Pakistan or Australia. Or I'm not in it for popularity. I'm just sharing some views, and technology allows me to do so.
Okay, that's wonderful. So we've done a lot of the serious stuff. Let's get back to, as you said, life is all about smiling and being happy. Tell us a bit about the Dennis that the world doesn't know. What kind of a person are you? If you could just get up a bit, that will be better.
No, I'm just saying. So I might want you to focus on my eyes. Tahir, what's the words from Tahir's song? My eyes, my something eyes.
Yeah, something. I'm not a big fan of Tahir, so let's keep that aside.
Come on.
Let's get to know the real Dennis that we don't know. What are you?
Okay. What am I?
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what I am according to my Pakistani immigration form. I'm an Australian Jewish 43-year-old male with white skin. I do this for fun. This is a hobby. This is not my main job. This is something that keeps me amused and allows me to interact with people around the world, and it's created some wonderful opportunities for me. I'm a married man. I have 3 young kids. My daughter turned 9 today. She's the youngest, and she's the boss. I have a new dog. You want to see my puppy? Let me show you my puppy. Sure. Its name is Moose.
Moose. Moose.
Yeah, he's Moose. Yeah. Moose. Can you see Moose?
Hi, Moose. How are you, buddy?
Moose.
Doesn't look too interested.
No, it doesn't care. So what else? I live on the outer suburbs of Melbourne in the hills. So you know Imran Khan. He lives in what's that place called?
Bunigala.
Bunigala. So I live in a place like Bunigala, but not quite as Bunigala as Bunigala, but similar. It's in the hills around Melbourne. It's called Menzies Creek, and there's only 200 houses in this suburb. It's a very small village. Lovely. And let me show you. This is going to move a bit, but I'll show you. Hold on. This is my wood pile. Because I have to burn wood to keep warm. That's my water tank. Yeah. In summer, it gets cold here. Australia's not just heat. What else?
Now I get it. You said Australia is a bit like Pakistan, so a lot of Pakistanis do that too.
Yeah, correct. You know what's really amazing? Humans all around the world are the same. We do the same stuff.
If I was to talk to your wife and ask her a bit things about you, what would be her initial reaction? I mean, what kind of what she would say about you?
She would drop the phone and walk away. I don't know. No one's ever asked me that question before. That's a wonderful question. What would she say? She would say that, you know what she says to me? She goes, how come you talk so much with your friends on social media, you don't even know them, and yet when we're together, you don't talk?
Every wife's question. Every wife does that.
She says that. She says, you only do the dishes or do the washing when you want something from me.
In brackets.
Yeah. What else does she say? She says, oh, on your way home, honey, can you get some milk? She says.
Pretty typical. No, in our part of the world, our wives are always short of tomatoes. So they always say, when you're coming back, get some tomatoes. So that's like standard all over Pakistan.
No, my wife's a wonderful woman. She's a strong lady, and she's raised 3 wonderful kids. And I don't have a bad word to say about her. But I don't know. I don't know what she would say. I think she would say that in my heart, I'm a caring person. I care for the family. I work hard. Sometimes I'm amusing, but for her, she doesn't get it because she doesn't like cricket.
That's a very wise of us. So that has taken a lot of your time. Let's wrap up things. Okay, one question from my guys over here in the digital team, and they're curious to know, what would you prefer, biryani with aloo or without aloo?
The only time for aloo is when leave them in Ireland. Let them grow in the ground in Ireland. That's where they belong. They don't belong in any dish other than some sort of Irish stew.
Nice. So, Dennis, Big Bash, IPL, and PSL. Where's your money?
Oh, if I'm putting money, definitely IPL because that's fixed. So if I know the bookies, I'll make money there. But the most, look, to be honest, the worst of the 3 now is the Big Bash. It goes too long. They only have 2 internationals per team. it's lost its magic. The PSL is very different, and maybe I had a unique experience there because all the teams stay in one hotel, and all the games in the Emirates are played in two grounds, right? Either Dubai Sports Stadium or Sharjah.
Yeah, they have added Abu Dhabi this time.
That's right. So you go to the ground, you watch the teams with all your friends in the media or in the grounds. Then you go back to the hotel, and there's players from every team, coaches from every team, all the media is there, all the fans are there. So it's a big party, and so that's unique. So I love that. And the other thing I love about the PSL is it represents something different to the other ones. You know, the PSL to Pakistan represents the hope that cricket will come home, and the hope that the international cricket community will accept Pakistan again as a safe place. And also that's for the international community, for the players and for the young kids. It represents the hope that one day they can make it on the international stage. And look at what Aqib Javed is doing at Lahore Qalandars. 200,000 kids turn up to try out because he doesn't have any rules. Anyone can try out. You don't have to be recommended by your club. The hope and that joy that the PSL brings is unique. You don't get that in the IPL or the Big Bash. The IPL is just the IPL to me is like WWE wrestling. It's fixed. It has no context. It doesn't mean anything. It's too big. It's in India they still have that secret envelope that Mudgal wrote a few years back with Dhoni's name in it that no one's ever been released, right? So to me the PSL is clearly the best tournament for so many reasons, and mainly because it talks to the heart. And then the Big Bash and IPL, whatever, CPL, BPL, who cares? They don't care. But the PSL stands for something special, and that's why I'm in love with it.
Okay, Dennis, one final question. Obviously, we are missing you a lot. I'm sure you must be missing all the action back home. What are the plans for next year now? Just a brief account.
For 2019?
Yeah, 2019 or 2020 season.
Let me think. So we will be releasing the Dennis Does Pakistan documentary. That's a 90-minute feature film. Worst case, if no one buys it, I'm going to stick it on YouTube. You can watch it for free. So my friends at Cricket phone like that. They want to make some money, but I don't care. I want people to see my experience there.
Okay, so just to cut you over here, a lot of the Indian guys think that somehow, intentionally or unintentionally, you are promoting Cricket GIF in some way or another. Is that so?
No, I'm not paid. I do not get a cent from Cricket GIF. At the moment, I'm just... I'm a fanboy, right? So yes, they helped me with the documentary, and yes, I worked with them last year. But I don't get anything from Cricket GIF at the moment. I'm not an employee or anything with them. They're just good friends, and they're doing a wonderful job. I think they have the best app on the market. And if you're going to watch the PSL, you get to see every ball, right? So that app is amazing. So anyhow, I'm doing the documentary. Hopefully, I'll finish my book. And get that released. The book, the working title at the moment, it used to be "How the Hell Did I End Up in Pakistan," but I've changed the title now to "How Not to Be a Sports Journalist." So we'll do that. We'll definitely come back to Pakistan. I think later in this year, maybe September, October, and I'll definitely be back for PSL number 5.